What's up, guys? We're the Sports Junkies. I'm Davey.
And I'm Jordan.
We are sponsored by the DraftKings.
Yep.
Not yet? No.
Nope.
Soon to come.
Tomorrow.
Oh, man. We had a very fun week. AFC, NFC championship games. This was another wild week. You know, we had the first week that was a little disappointing, and ever since then, I've been on the edge of my seat, I think, for every single game.
Oh, yeah. Best round of playoffs I've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Ever.
I can't think of a better year of being this excited going into every single Sunday.
Me either.
I'm excited for this Super Bowl coming up. But let's jump into it. First game of the Sunday, we had Cincinnati versus Kansas City.
Whew.
Man,
What a game.
this was a lot of people thought. I think a lot of people thought this was going to be a blowout.
You called it.
But I think a lot of people were thinking that Kansas City was going to blow this game out.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, and
You called the Bengals last week, and I was like, what? I respect them now.
Oh, I've been impressed with them every single week, and yeah, the first half was definitely kind of a trajectory of what everybody thought was going to happen. The Kansas City Chiefs went up 21-3, and a lot of people thought this game was over. So, tell me what your thoughts were on this game.
This was a fun game to watch. I watched every minute of it. I'd watch every minute of it again for sure. But like you said, Kansas City came out hot. They were up 21-3, and they had a dynamic first half. You thought, well, this is gonna be a bad game to watch, and then all of a sudden, Cool Joe, that guy comes running in, and I don't know what to say about him. First really full season. We can't count last year against him at all. First full season, and this guy looks like he's been in the league for 10 years.
Damn.
He's more composed, he's more cool, he's more calm, he's more collected than a lot of quarterbacks I've seen that have been in this league for a long time. He executes. He's got good decision-making skills. He's definitely good in that department. He's not going to necessarily lose you the game, it seems like at this point in his career, which is always good to have from your young quarterback. He's got a good cast around him, and I think that helps. Obviously, we know what Jamar Chase brings, but he was bottled up for the majority of the game. Had a couple timely big plays, but he was bottled up for a lot of the game, and so you had to go to Higgins, who had 103 yards. That guy's a beast. He made really big, timely catches. Had a phenomenal game. But then you had Mixon. And I think Mixon was a big difference maker in that game. He ran, he caught, he's playing good ball at the right time. But quarterbacks win you the game. And Joe went out there. And I mean, some of the scrambles this guy got in, like I think Burrow only had 25 yards or something rushing. What was his rushing yards? 25 yards.
Up the field.
Up the field. Yeah, but like 25 important yards,
right.
And I can argue laterally he had more than that, right? He escaped a couple rushes, like literally looking back, like all right, time to jump to get out of one of them, And he got out of some things. You're like, how did you get out of that? That turned into big moment plays. Something that, I mean, Cincinnati hung their hat on. They came to play. Their defense held up. They had two big stops.
Huge.
With goal to go. One in the first half, where they throw that swing to Tyreek, and he just gets decleated. Bad call on the side of Kansas City. You go get points there. And then at the end of the game, where the clock's going down, it's like, who's going to manage this clock? Now the clock's for Kansas City, and should Cincinnati just let them score? Should they let them score and have at least have some time on the clock to go down? And no, they didn't. They chose to hold, and their defense held and forced overtime.
That was a crazy game.
Wild.
I just want to run through some of the stats here. Burrow, 23 for 38. I mean, wasn't the best percentage he's ever had, but the completions he made mattered.
Yeah.
100%. And 250 passing, 2 TDs, 1 interception. Mixon, 21 attempts, 88 yards. He also had 3 receptions for 27 yards. Chase, 6 receptions, 54 yards, TD. Higgins, like you said, 6 receptions, 103 yards. Perrine.
Yeah.
That touchdown that he had.
That was big.
That was absolutely a game changer right there.
That changed the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah.
3 receptions, that's it. But 43 yards, touchdown. And then one of my favorite players that I've been watching, and it's not because of him on the field, it's because of the results he produces, but McPherson.
Yeah.
McPherson. 4 for 4 with a 52-yarder. I mean, and then you go down to the Chiefs. I mean, Mahomes, 26 for 39. I mean, they kept him under 300 yards.
275.
275. I mean, if you're holding Mahomes under 300 yards, that's a win.
Oh, yeah.
That's a win.
Every day.
Any defense. 3 TDs, 2 interceptions. And this is really where I think they lacked the running game for the Chiefs. I mean, McKinnon, he had 65 yards. I mean, they didn't have any touchdowns on the ground.
No.
None. And I mean, the Bengals didn't, but they had more oomph on their running game. And so Kelsey had a good game. 10 receptions, 95 yards. Tyreek
He played.
Yeah, he played. He gave it all. Tyreek, 7 receptions, 78 yards, and Hardman, 3 receptions, 52 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the biggest thing I saw from this game, and I really saw the size difference of the Bengals wide receivers. And it wasn't a big win. It wasn't huge, but I think those wide receivers showed that they had a better core wide receiver group than the Chiefs did. And the Bengals lost Uzoma within the first couple minutes.
Yeah. And he's key.
He's huge.
He's huge.
But just like you said, I mean, Burrow had some scrambles that were just insane. You can't teach that.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
There's nothing you can do in practice.
No.
To do what he did there.
It's pure heart, pure will.
Yep. And Mahomes had some good ones too. He had
Yeah.
some good scrambles. So I think overall that was an exciting game. Man.
What does this mean for Mahomes? Does this mean anything?
Oh man, I mean, you hate to say it, but I mean every time he's losing, just putting a little ding on his resume, at the end. And I think that Mahomes is chasing after Brady.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think that's who he's got to have his eye on.
Right. I mean, when you want to be the best, you got to have your eyes on the best. So, but I mean, Brady's lost a couple.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're the Chiefs, you're regrouping, and
Yeah.
you had a great season. But I think
you hope you can hold this core together, right? That's what concerns me is Hill's going to want his money.
Right.
I mean, Mahomes has already got his, but the league has shown that, they're kind of adapting to Mahomes. He didn't have that year that he's always had.
Yep.
Not that I don't think he can have that again, but normally you put Patrick Mahomes up 21-3.
Yep.
And that's a 48-10 victory.
Yep. Whose fault was that on the Chiefs? Is that Mahomes? Is that coaching?
I think a little bit of it is got to fall on the coach. I know he took a lot of that on him. I think that blunder right before half changes the game.
It does.
And Mahomes could say he swung it out to Hill and he probably shouldn't have, but I could argue Hill should have ran it in the end zone. I think it was 5 seconds to go and they snapped that ball.
Yep.
And it's either a quick end zone hit or we only knock 3 seconds off the clock and we get a field goal. Yep. The last thing you can do is throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage or laterally and allow somebody to tackle you. The half is over.
Right.
And look at the difference, 3 points.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know what I mean? And that's in overtime. So you would have won in regulation.
Well, the momentum, I think, changed a ton there. I mean...
It did.
You were going from potentially, I mean, in your mind, you wanted to go into the half 28-3.
Yeah.
You could have done 24
Yeah.
to 3.
Mm-hmm.
But you went for it. The defense got a huge win there. It boosted all of the Bengals.
All of it. I mean, that hold that they had at the end of the game.
Yeah.
That was impressive stuff.
That's huge.
To hold them out of the end zone was just impressive. Then, like you said, McFearless steps up and does what he does. I don't know. This might be... I know Tucker's still around, Justin Tucker, but we might be having a new kicker coming to the league that is ready to dominate. Played well.
Yeah.
Good game.
That was an impressive game.
Next game, DJ David. We have San Francisco at the Los Angeles Rams.
Who'd you call in this one?
Rams.
I called the 49ers. This is a good game, though.
Had the Rams.
You know, after looking at the stats, I mean, if you looked at these stats and had to determine a winner, I mean, the Rams, I feel like you would just think it was a blowout.
Yeah.
But, you know, the 49ers were here, and the reason they were in this game was because of what got them here.
Yeah.
And it was their defense.
The one reason that they're here.
The one reason.
One and only. And Jimmy G.
Yeah. And that, I mean...
Is that his last game ever played in San Francisco?
I think so. I think when you're getting this far in the playoffs with... He's got a good record in the postseason, but when you have a defense like that, and some of those, I mean, Debo and Kittle and stuff like that, and you went high in the draft to get Trey Lance.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they've been talking about it all year. There was questions he would even start this year.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't see him playing for the 49ers again.
I don't know that I do either. Like you said, you just named all these people they have on the offense. The defense carried them, and that's good, but they had the offense.
Right.
They had the pieces, the receivers. They have Kittle. You know, they have a good running game. We all know their running game, and we know Debo, what he does. You saw him get loose again.
Right.
But that guy's a Swiss Army knife, and so you have the offensive pieces to go, and I think only one game this postseason, I could be wrong, but I think only one game they scored more than 20 points. And that's what worried me,
Right.
is I just didn't think San Francisco had the offensive power to keep up with the Rams.
Right.
And let's put it how it is. The Rams don't have no chump defense, so
Right.
when I was thinking, I was like, well, they're finally coming up against a defense that can go against them.
Yep.
I mean, you got Aaron Donald, Von Miller coming off the edge, and Donald clinched it.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
you got that defense that's flying around like that, and then I think you go to the offense. And but Jimmy G, with those weapons, you've got to be able to produce more than 20 points a game.
Yep.
And that was their downfall.
Oh, yeah. You put Brady in the position of Garoppolo.
Yeah.
And I think it might have been a blowout.
Yeah, I think so. They probably would have 2
Right.
Super Bowls by now, because they went a couple years ago and fell short.
Right.
And a lot of that is because they don't trust Jimmy G to throw 232 passing yards. I mean, 30 attempts. They let it loose a little bit more than they usually do.
Yeah, that's a lot for him.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And was outthrown by almost 100 yards.
Yeah. I mean, I called the 49ers to win this game, and I thought it was going to be on the 49ers run game.
Yeah.
And they shut them down.
Mm-hmm.
That was a complete shutdown.
Mm-hmm.
This exit is closed. Okay? Mitchell, 11 attempts, 20 yards. Debo had 26 yards.
Under 50 yards with Garoppolo running.
Right.
So every run under 50 yards with all of your people running.
That's a mean defense.
Mean defense.
Yeah, that's impressive. I mean, they shut Kittle down. Kittle had, what, two receptions? He did have a TD, but 27 yards?
Not enough.
Pretty good, but... And then you go to the Rams. I mean, Beckham had a good game. Cup had a huge game.
Huge game. 2 TDs. I do not know how Cup continues to get open.
Dude, you can't stop him.
Like, how can you not stop him? They they pretty much stopped Jamar Chase.
Right.
Like, they put a plan together to double him, right? When you have someone like Cooper Kupp, you double him. You do what you got to do to stop this guy. You don't let him get loose for 142 and 2.
Right.
2 touchdowns on 142 yards.
Right.
Like, you've got to come in. That is, to me, that's what your game plan has to be.
Yep.
Is we have to stop Kupp. No one else is going to threaten them.
Right.
I mean, you got OBJ, and he gave you 113. Welcome back, brother. Like, I'm so happy for that guy. I think the Browns, they put him in a dark hole. This guy's proven he can play. 9 receptions for 113 yards. That's a big game, whether he has touchdowns or not. And then you dump him over to Kupp. That's gotta be you. Want to know what Bill Belichick does? He shuts Cooper Kupp down, and that's the difference.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hands up. Tip my hat to Kupp.
Yeah.
Odell had a game too. So you didn't shut either of them down.
No.
Neither. Like,
what did you shut down?
I could say Beckham went off for 150. Kupp had 40.
Yeah.
Vice versa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they both went off.
Both of them.
Both. They killed it, dude. And
200, more than 250 yards just on those 2 receivers alone.
Yeah. And they didn't have Robert Woods.
No.
Holy cow.
They bottled Akers up a little bit. He got off for 50 yards on the ground.
Yep.
Call that a win, but I thought if this game was going to be won, it was going to be through the air.
Yep.
I never thought they were going to win this one running it down San Francisco's throat, because people just don't do that. Yeah. San Francisco's too good, too fast, and too determined on the defensive end. But they simply could not match him offense for offense.
Right.
They just couldn't in any facet. Not running, not passing.
Right.
This is where Jimmy G, like, how many times can we see? Yeah, Jimmy G can get you there. He can get you to the postseason. He'll win you a couple games.
Right.
But he's not winning you the one game that puts the ring on the finger. And you saw Donald. He said, "Give me my ring. Give it to me." Because at the end of the game, he forced him into a dumb interception.
Right.
Which I understand you have 13 yards to go, but it's 3rd down.
Right.
You live to see another down. That's where I don't think Joe Burrow makes that mistake.
No.
And when you're Jimmy G and you've been in the league and you studied behind Tom Brady for a lot of years, one of the most careful guys, that Tom Brady will throw 150 yards and be happy with it because he won't make a mistake.
Right.
And Jimmy G's out there flinging it because Aaron Donald's on him. You still had a down to go. You can't, Jimmy G, you're out, man.
Yeah.
You're cut. Or you're traded, whatever it is. But you won't be playing for the 49ers next year.
No, time to move on.
Move on.
And hats off to the Rams. I mean, 13 points in the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's coaching, that's adjustments. That's just some good play calling right there. So,
Sean McVay.
This guy is
Run up and down the sideline and slap your buttocks. Run in the tunnel and give you a hug. And
he's probably faster than some of those
he's
players.
Pretty quick. I like Sean McVay.
So yeah, that was
People's champ.
I know but this is gonna make for a very fun, interesting, hard to choose
Different.
Super Bowl. Which
Very different Super Bowl.
What are the odds these two teams are matching in the Super Bowl?
I don't know. I don't think that anybody bet on those odds. I would like to see who bet on these odds at the beginning of the year. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Nobody. I would love to see one ticket with the Bengals in the Super Bowl this year. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I like it. I've heard a lot of people say this isn't a good matchup for football. This is dumb. I've seen worse matchups in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Like, at least we got 2 high-flying quarterbacks.
Yep.
That can score. And we've learned this year. This is what I love. We've learned this year. An 18-point lead is not. You're not safe.
No.
You're not safe on a 21-point lead.
Which is wild.
I mean, that's a testament to how great our quarterbacks are that we're watching.
Yeah.
Our young quarterbacks. I mean, you can just go through the list of them. And it's like, okay, you're down 14 with 5 minutes to go. Like, you can overcome that.
Right.
You got Josh Allen, who's doing it. I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes, You got Joe Burrow who's out there doing it. You have all these young quarterbacks. Football's going to be exciting for the next 10 years.
Yeah, these young quarterbacks they're really opening the door for
Justin Herbert.
Oh yeah, Herbert's living on those dang Chargers.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. They should have never left you.
Still got a stinker there. Yeah, no, this quarterback matchup, and I've said this from the beginning of the playoffs, you have to have a quarterback that can take over these games to get here.
Mm-hmm.
And the 49ers showed it to us.
Yeah.
Your defense can only take you so far.
Yep.
It cannot take you and win.
Yeah.
I think the only other team I've ever seen that didn't have the better quarterback to win it was the Ravens with Flacco.
Yeah.
You know?
And like, he became Joe Flacco in the postseason. So, like, he might not have been no regular season quarterback.
Right.
Go check his postseason numbers. Like, so, yeah, that's definitely a good argument because he's not anything for the regular season. He's a backup. That's what he should be. But that guy gets you to the postseason.
Right.
It's like he's a different breed.
Yeah. And I'm excited for Stafford. I mean, I've watched Stafford and never been a huge fan, but I've always tipped my hat to his stats and not requesting a trade from the Lions.
Yeah.
Throughout all of those years.
Yeah.
Just feel like you're wasting.
Yeah.
All of your years.
And he did waste. He had Megatron. He had Calvin.
The one bright.
Yeah, that's the bright star he ever had. And it's like, yeah, there's just some of these franchises where, sorry, you can't, as a player, you can't be married to those franchises. Like, I understand the want to, like, I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna prove it, but like, come on, man, you ain't got nothing to prove to the Jaguars. You're never winning anything there. You ain't got nothing to prove to the Jets.
No,
you're not winning anything. It's the same thing as Detroit.
Right.
Like, you're gonna sit there and die there.
Yep.
If that's a hill you're willing to die on, die on it. But I mean, I'm a big proponent of rings.
Yep.
Like, Stafford could go to literally from an on the edge, maybe Hall of Famer, to he wins this, slam dunk Hall of Famer.
Yep. Absolutely, 100%.
Right?
You're in.
You're in.
You win and you're in the Hall of Fame.
You're win and you in. And one ring.
Yep.
Like, that's how much I think rings mean. Yeah. He could be either not a Hall of Famer or a slam dunk Hall of Famer if he wins this year.
Yep.
He doesn't need many. Just needs one.
And you go back to Flacco, and Flacco ain't making it into the Hall of Fame. Not at all.
No.
But Stafford, I mean, this guy now has 2 wide receivers, number 1 and number 2, for best seasons ever. Calvin Johnson, Cooper Kupp.
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
Like, look.
Yeah.
That's got to say something.
Yeah, it does.
You know? And
you want to know, and like, Detroit, when he was over there, they were always fairly competitive. You know, they lost all those close games, and they weren't a team that can win close games.
Right.
But they were always in the game, and they were always competitive. And that's because of Stafford. I saw so many comebacks, so many last-minute drives, 4,000-yard seasons, you name it. And that's why the Rams go out and get Matthew Stafford, right? Because Sean McVay knew this is the piece that we need. Like, he looks even more like a boy genius now.
Yeah.
Like, this is the piece that we're missing, and it's Stafford.
Yeah.
And he's showing you he can play in these big-time games, but what it shows, you just have to have people around you. You have to have a defense. You have to have someone who can get you some yards on the ground. You have to have some receivers. And Megatron retired early.
He did. Really early.
Really early. Yeah, that guy, he could have been something. I mean, he was.
Yeah.
He was something, but he cut his career way short.
He probably just wanted out of Detroit. And
Probably pulled a Gronk. I ain't
tough.
playing for Bill Belichick anymore. I'll retire until we get out of here.
Right. Look at what Goff did this year.
Yeah.
They had trouble winning one game.
Yeah. They celebrated like hell when they won that game.
I celebrated a little bit. I felt bad.
Yeah.
Like, don't be another 0-16 Lions team.
But McVay took Goff to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
To a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Goff is never getting to another Super Bowl again in his career.
I don't know.
Never.
I don't know how many more years he has left.
Yeah, not as a starter.
No.
Not as a starter. He's probably a serviceable backup.
Right.
Someone gets nicked, he can go out there and win you a game or two maybe, but that's just the difference of organizations and teams. Like, football is the ultimate team sport.
Yeah.
It's not just your offense. It's not just your defense. You have special teams. Like, then you have your kicker. Like, there is so much that goes into football. Like, in basketball, yeah, you can take over. It's 5-on-5. You can take over. One player can. For sure, too. Football, it takes every guy that plays on that field.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, after talking about all that, I mean, who do you have in this Super Bowl?
You know, I like what the Bengals can do. I like what I've seen, and I think you got Chase, but you got Ramsey.
He's a beast.
And Ramsey's going to follow Chase.
The whole game.
And I think that's going to make it so you don't have to double him.
Yeah.
And so you're not going to have to call special plays to double him. I like Burrow. I just don't think it's his time.
It's tough.
It's Stafford time, baby. It is Stafford time.
Which I don't think anybody's ever heard that in the postseason.
No. The Rams are going to win this Super Bowl. I have it probably closer than people think.
Okay.
But the Rams are going to win this because Ramsey's going to be over there. And they got Higgins. They'll figure out something for him. But you got Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
And you got Odell Beckham, who, believe it or not, he's out to prove something. Odell Beckham Jr. is out to prove something because he was tarnished in the Browns. His name got dragged in the mud. He wasn't catching touchdowns.
Disrespectful.
Disrespected. But he's in a better home now.
Yeah.
He's in L.A. Like, Odell belongs in a New York market or an L.A. market. Like, that's just, that kind of stuff is good for his head. Like, that's how that guy operates well. Like, he didn't know what to do in Cleveland. Like, what the hell do I do here in Cleveland?
Cleveland doesn't know what to do.
Cleveland doesn't know what to do in Cleveland. And they ruined him, but he's back. I like that he's resurging. You got Von Miller coming off the edge, who he's ready to get another ring. You got a stacked defense, you got a stacked offense. And even though Stafford hasn't played in a lot of these meaningful games, he's got more time in the NFL. He knows NFL situations a little bit better. And I do think that he's got the better defense, who's going to give him a short field. I think they're going to get a takeaway. They're going to be the team that gets the takeaway and turns that into points, and that's going to be the difference maker of the game. So I got the Rams winning 28-24.
Close game.
Close game. McPherson's going to get a field goal in there. Let's call it what it is. McPherson will get a field goal.
Oh, those are some very good points. But I have to disagree with you on this one.
Wow.
I said it last week.
You did.
You thought I was crazy.
I know. I still do, but
but here we are.
But here we are. Yeah.
Hey,
that was a good call. I know there's not many people that picked that, and if you said you did, I'm putting you on the lie detector test.
That's not going correct.
Yeah.
But I think you said it in the defense. The Rams have a better defense. And I think the Rams' defense is what helped Stafford in that offense get to where they are. I think the Bengals have a good defense. But I think the one reason that the Bengals are here is because Joe Burrow knows how to win. He knows how to
take that from me.
He knows how to win in college. He knows how to win. Basically, his first year, he didn't skip a beat.
No.
This guy literally took a year off because of his ACL, said, screw all the statistics. I'm going from winning a championship with LSU, and I'm going to take my experience, and I'm never, ever going to think that I can't win a game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he takes that, and I think Chase will get
100?
No, I don't think. I have so much respect for Ramsey.
Okay.
I think Chase is taken out of this game. But
how many yards?
I think he gets 50 or 60.
Okay.
But I think Higgins, will have a good game. But my X factor, and he hasn't been an X factor yet this postseason. Tyler Boyd.
Yeah.
I'm calling Tyler Boyd's name right now because he hasn't had a big game yet in the postseason, and Higgins just had a big game.
Mm-hmm.
Chase has had some big games.
Yep.
But I think he is gonna come out and really play, and I don't know if Uzoma's gonna be back. I would like him to be there, but
do you think Burrow has more passing yards
than
than
Stafford?
Stafford?
That is tough. No, I don't think so. I think the Bengals have a better running game.
Yeah, I could agree with that. Although Akers can come when he comes.
He can. But
Mixon's proven.
And that's what I called my X factor last week
Yeah.
against the Chiefs was Mixon. And during the end parts of the game, I really think that he was key.
He was huge.
He was huge. He was getting those first downs. And times when you're not expecting to get first downs, he was getting them. So
he was huge.
I got this one close too. I think this can be decided within a touchdown. I think it's Bengals win 24-17.
17.
Yeah, I don't know. That's tough.
That's good. I'm with it. I do want to talk about, I know we want to end this, but Tom Brady. There's talks of him. I haven't seen anything confirmed yet that the guy is retiring, but I've seen report after report after report on every network I can watch. I haven't really seen confirmed that Tom Brady is retired.
Yeah.
What do you feel about that?
My heart hurts, man. Even when you know something's coming to an end, it's like watching a good movie you've been waiting for 10, 15 years. And it's coming to the end, and it was a great movie, and you're just like, I just don't want this to end. I know that it's going to end, but I don't want it to.
Yeah.
And I just don't want this era to end, even though I know it has to.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard about his wife coming out.
Yeah.
Wants to be with his family and stuff like that, and
kids are getting older. He's gonna start missing big moments.
Yeah. What do you think? If you're in Brady's shoes right now, what are you doing?
I play one more year.
Okay.
I play one more year. I said I was gonna play till I was 45. I'm not 45 yet. I'm coming off of one of my better seasons ever, for sure, passing.
Yeah.
Like, I still have it. I'm still helping a team win. Still helping an organization win.
Right.
The team they lost to is in the Super Bowl. Like, you can't hang your hat too much there. And I had a huge comeback against that team.
Yeah.
I'm playing till 45. I'm telling my wife, I'll be home soon, honey. Daddy's coming home soon. But soon, I'm playing one more year. And that's what I'm saying. Listen, kids, I love you. You're going to be 1 year older. I'm going to do my best to be at your recitals. It'd be best to be but I want to play till I'm 45. Give Daddy one more year, and I'll be home. And I want to see him have kind of a farewell tour. I didn't know how much I loved those in the beginning, but when you're as respected as Brady, like, if anyone's earned a farewell tour, like, that guy is so hated that he's loved. People love to hate him, and they hate to love him.
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you every stadium, if he was to come back next year and say, next year is my final year, I can guarantee you every stadium is giving him a standing O and saying, thank you, Brady.
Yeah.
I can guarantee that.
Absolutely.
Like, you don't have to love Brady. I know a lot of people that hate him. But just like you, like, there's an emptiness. Right. It's like, Tom Brady's going to be gone? Like, who's going to be the villain or the hero? Right. Like, who's that guy going to be? He's a hero for many, and he's a villain for a lot. And that's, like, that villain-hero thing. We love to watch that. Yeah. I want one more year out of him. Come on, Tom. Come back for one more year.
Give us one more. I don't want
one more year.
I don't want the movie to end.
Yeah.
I just want a little bit more. Mm-hmm. We'll see, though.
We'll see. Come on, Tom. Come on, Tom. I'm sending one up for you. Let's go, baby.
But I'm excited for the Super Bowl.
Yep.
It's going to be a good one. So, you got anything else?
That's all I got. We'll be back next week.
Okay. I'm excited.
Well, it's going to do it for today. If you liked, show us by giving us a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to our channel. We're here weekly. We're about to transition into the NBA, which Davey and I both know very well and love, so we'll see a little bit more arguments there. He's a LeBron guy, I'm a Jordan guy, so tune in to see how that goes.
All right, sports junkies out.